Today's gospel is a wake-up call for us Christians. It is a stark reminder that tells us that being a Christian is not easy. It was not easy for the disciples, and it's not easy for us today. Today's gospel reminds us that there are moments of difficulty and anguish, and the struggle to live the Christian life can sometimes cause division, even among families. What's important, though, is to stay focused on how we love and in that struggle to love one another. It's a hard gospel to read as a whole. It's Luke chapter 12, verses 49 to 53. At least it's hard for me because Jesus is talking to the disciples about, I've come to cast fire on the earth, not to create peace, but to create division, and how I wish it was over. And it will cause division against parents, against households, etc. And that's really hard to hear. What I find the consoling piece in this whole gospel is the line that Jesus says, I have a baptism to receive, and what anguish I feel until it is over. His baptism by fire is the road to Jerusalem, which will lead to the cross, his suffering, his death, his agony, his dying, and ultimately the resurrection. We Christians call that the Paschal mystery, the life, the death, and the resurrection of Jesus. Jesus is saying to the disciples in a way, it's like, I understand, and understand too that there's going to be division. People are not going to like us and agree with us because that whole sense of baptism by fire and walking through our lives and our journey is to figure out what is genuine and real for us. How do we live authentically and putting away all the stuff that is not real, that is not authentic, separating stuff that is insincere and false. And sometimes in our lives, people like it when we're not our genuine selves, because it forces, when we're our genuine selves, it forces others to look at ourselves as well and to be, how are we being real? And sometimes people don't like that. Sometimes we don't like that. It's like, oh, you're forcing me to be authentic. And sometimes, we just rather lie on the couch and just not be authentic ourselves that day. The way of discipleship is difficult, but there are moments of difficulty, and today's gospel reminds us that. So this week, let us pay attention to how are we sorting out what is genuine and real in our lives and what is not. What is our baptism by fire that we have to go through to live this way of love? Where is our struggle? And where do we experience pain and division in our lives and in our world and in our society? And how do we hold that with love? And keep the long vision of how do we stay focused on the path of love, which is a way of love and compassion for ourselves and for one another. And let us know that Jesus understands and is with us in our anguish and in our pain and in our joy and celebration. God understands our journey. Let us walk that path together in love and compassion for one another. Amen.